Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here on a Saturday. It's great to see all of you here. And welcome to What's Next is Now, the convergence of marketing and technology, Sapient Nitro's much-awaited, one-of-a-kind event brought to you by the Chief Marketing Technology University Officer Program. Most of the folks in this room know me well, so I'll keep introductions very brief. I'm Sunil Dodhia, Vice President of Technology with Sapient Nitro and the Technology Lead for Sapient Nitro India. I've been with Sapient for about 19 years now and have had the privilege of building large-scale commerce and marketing platforms for a variety of our clients over the years. And as I reflect back on this journey, there was a point in time about 3.5, 4 years back where I was thinking, having built many of these platforms, maybe I understand this space well. Maybe there's nothing new to learn. Maybe it's going to get boring. Maybe it's time to do something different. And then, as a part of the CMTO journey, I got a chance to take a step back and truly internalize how quickly this entire landscape is evolving. And that's when I realized, no matter how much work you might have done in this space over time, which I know a lot of you have done, there's a significant opportunity to learn, to do exciting things, to innovate, and to make an impact. I graduated from this program about 2 years back, and I would love to share some of my perspectives with all of you, not just in terms of how this program went for me, but more importantly, what this program has meant for me after I graduated, how it has shaped my thinking and my career over the last couple of years. But before we do that, I think it's Saturday morning. Marketing technology is a heavy topic. Let's start with some fun. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about a game. It should be very easy. Which is the most popular mobile game in US history today? Of course, Pokemon Go. Which was the most popular mobile game in US history before Pokemon Go? Candy Crush, yes. Approximately how many days or how many weeks after launch did it take Pokemon Go to break the record held by Candy Crush Saga? Less than 1 week. Perfect. All right, we have a great crowd here. So we are going to talk about Pokemon Go. That's why we are all here today. If you are anything like my friends on Facebook, over the last couple of weeks, you probably sold off all your worldly belongings, bid goodbye to your family, and headed out west somewhere to search a few Pokemons. This game, which uses augmented reality to place virtual characters in real world, has actually taken the world by storm. Within a couple of days of the launch, the stock price of Nintendo went up by more than 50%. When I checked 2 days back, it was up more than 100% since launch, adding more than $10 billion in market cap to the company. It took Candy Crush Saga more than a year, I think a year and a half, to reach the 20 million daily active users that Pokemon Go surpassed within a week. Today, Pokemon Go in US has more users than Twitter. People are spending more time on Pokemon Go than Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, any of the social media apps out there. But stats is just stats, right? Let's talk about the actual impact. If you go online, which many of you must have done, you will see videos of hundreds of people flocking towards their favorite Pokemon characters. There are reports of accidents and robberies. Police departments in many cities have had to issue warnings, asking people to be careful while playing the game and crossing roads at the same time. New York City subway has a Twitter page where they have said, "Stand behind the yellow line, please," as you are waiting for the train and playing the game at the same time. It has become a mass hysteria. But I know some of you guys over here are thinking, hey, I came here to really learn about marketing technology. And we have Sunil here standing up on the stage and talking to us about the game. Well, you are right. Let's get into marketing technology. So I'm going to ask you a question now. Let's assume that you are the CMO of a large retailer. Take any of your clients that you have worked with over the last couple of years. And let's assume you are the CMO of that organization. What do you think has been top of your mind over the last couple of weeks? I bet it's Pokemon Go, because you now are trying to figure out how do you capitalize on this opportunity. How do you change your marketing strategy in light of the mania that's around you? Well, how do you divert your marketing dollars from wherever they are onto this platform maybe? What should your tech strategy be? Will your platform basically be able to integrate with Pokemon Go platform soon? Well, you are in luck. So, by the way, we're going to keep talking about Pokemon Go. That's the topic for today, I guess. The CEO of Niantic, which is the company which has a majority stake in this game, confirmed that Pokemon Go is going to offer sponsored locations soon. Which means brands can now pay Pokemon Go, the company, to have their favorite characters appear in retail locations. This will, of course, drive footfall traffic to the business, but once they are there, once your customers are there, it's up to you how you want to take advantage of it. Maybe swap Pokemon reward points with your own reward points. Sky is the limit, how you can basically integrate the two platforms together. In fact, an Australian student was able to decompile the Android version of Pokemon Go code, and he found references to McDonald's in the comment section of the code. We all write comments in our code, right? So they did. He found reference to McDonald's, thereby fueling huge speculation that McDonald's and Pokemon Go are most likely entering into a large partnership very soon. It absolutely makes sense for McDonald's from a marketing strategy point of view. And what about from your and my point of view? Well, you typically go to McDonald's for burger, fries, and shake. It does not hurt to have a Pikachu also in that menu, right? Pokemon Go will most likely get written in history books as a watershed moment in augmented reality. But to me, even beyond that, Pokemon Go gives us a glimpse of what future digital experiences and user engagement models could look like. We now have an opportunity to create a whole new world of social platforms, a whole new world where the physical and virtual will learn to coexist. But let's take a step back. What else is going on here? We are living in an environment where today's technology landscape, driven by disruption, growth, and competition, is evolving rapidly in ways people cannot even imagine. The pace of change is accelerating. The magnitude of the upcoming change is going to be larger, much larger than anything that we have ever seen before. But make no mistake about it, it is not just the pace. We talk about the pace a lot. We should be talking about the scale and the impact at the same time. McKinsey said, change today is happening 10 times the speed, 3 times the scale, 3,000 times the impact of what we saw during the Industrial Revolution. And Pokemon Go validates this. Look at the scale. To be able to reach tens of millions of users in a matter of days, that's unheard of. To be able to disrupt people's lives, disrupt the ecosystem so quickly, just by a game. And very soon, a company with deep roots in technology was being spoken literally days after launch as a future marketing platform. That's the disruption that we are talking about. Some of you are probably thinking, hey, this is probably a one-off event. It's a game, it's mass hysteria, it's going to die down, and maybe. But make no mistake about it. We have to get ready for many such watershed moments. We are living in a world where many of these trends are going to keep evolving more and more. Let me illustrate my point by taking one more example. Let's take the example of cognitive computing and artificial intelligence. And let's see what's happening there and how that's going to evolve our lives. Most organizations today, as we all know, have been collecting a lot of data. Big data, Hadoop clusters, we all know how that has gone over the last 5 years. Gigabytes, terabytes, even petabytes of data exist today in most of these stores. But if you ask a lot of marketers today, are you getting value out of this data? Most of them very likely will tell you, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm driving some analytics. I'm getting some insights. But it seems I should be able to do more. I was promised much more when I invested so many dollars to collect all this data. So where is all that? Why are these insights not coming fast enough? While all this has been going on one side, in parallel, Academicians and scientists have been working hard on perfecting cognitive computing algorithms. Natural language processing, machine learning, image recognition, face recognition, even emotion recognition now, deep learning models, semantic analysis, hypothesis generation, all these algorithms are now slowly finding ways out of labs into the real world. Marketers now have the tools at their hand to start driving hyper-personalization, where you truly understand your customer, you understand who he is, you understand his social data. Social data, we talk about social listening platforms today, and they do a decent job in some aspects. But social data by its very nature is not only is it unstructured, but the language in there has a lot of hidden elements in there. Your fear, your disgust, your empathy, your love, all these come out in your social posts. Today's social learning platforms don't have the capability to be able to understand this and direct marketers accordingly. Artificial intelligence algorithms will enable you to start doing those things. Hyper-personalizations needs real-time computation, which most platforms today don't support. You are standing in front of an aisle in a store. What you did over the last couple of minutes matters more than what you did 2 hours back. And today, most of today's algorithms work based off of 2 hour, 4 hour old data. We are going to start seeing a transition here, but there is one big problem. Most of these algorithms today, most organizations today don't have the firepower to drive these complex algorithms. These algorithms are being developed and perfected by the web giants, as you can imagine, Google, Facebook, Amazon, IBM. And if our traditional organizations, if our clients are not able to drive these algorithms, the impact, the scale will not be what we want it to be. But I believe this is about to change soon. Why do I say that? I believe that we are going to enter a hockey stick moment in our quest for cognitive computing very soon. And I say this because this announcement which has gone unnoticed by several folks says that Google, Facebook, and Microsoft are all launching very soon. They are all launching open source artificial intelligence APIs. I'll talk about the impact of this in a second. Even IBM, which has a very famous Watson platform, all of us are aware of Watson and the amazing thing it's doing out there. Even the Watson platform, IBM, while they will not go open source, of course it's IBM, they won't go open source. However, even they have agreed to make their APIs available on the public cloud on a freemium basis. You'll pay for some aspects of it, some aspects will take you towards it. Which means technologists like you and I will have the ability to start using these APIs, to start integrating these solutions, using cognitive computing solutions in the innovative work that we do for our clients. But that is just the beginning. Let's use history as a guide. If you look history over the last 5 to 10 years and you look at the open source movement, how does it work? The web giants typically open source some of their source code. Organizations start using it, start liking it. They start contributing back to the community. In parallel to this, we then also have some niche companies start creating value-added services on top of these open APIs. And then suddenly you have a very thriving ecosystem where innovation and adoption happens as a matter of fact. I fully expect the same thing to happen with cognitive computing in the next couple of years. In the next couple of years, we are going to start seeing an entire ecosystem of artificial intelligence-based marketing systems created, and that will change the face of marketing in terms of what we know now. It's going to be a fundamental shift in how we operate. I can keep going on and on and on, but I'm going to cap this conversation. We have many other speakers who have to talk here. So I'm going to cap this conversation by saying that we are living in an era of an epic collision between marketing and technology. Marketing and technology have both been disrupted significantly by the networked economy and by the connected consumer. And at this intersection of marketing and technology, we have a significant amount of innovation and evolution happening. Just look at this, for example. Look at this MarTech diagram, which Scott Brinker, if you don't follow him, I suggest you should definitely follow him. You'll learn a lot from him. He publishes this every year. Today's version, this is basically your marketing technology landscape. Today's version, or this year's version, has 4,000 companies as against about 2,000 companies last year, as against 1,000 companies a year before, and probably less than 500 the year prior. This landscape is evolving. There's significant amount of innovation happening here, doubling every year. It's very complex to understand. With the shift from analog to digital, from communications to experience, from storytelling to storyscaping, companies need a new brand of technologist. A new brand of technologist who comes from a strong technology background, especially when it comes to customer-facing systems. But at the same time, he understands marketing and marketers and advertising. A new brand of technologist who is a scrappy innovator, who works in an experimentation culture, a startup mode, but at the same time, he understands the complexity and scale of large organizations, people, processes, and culture. A new breed of technologist who can bridge the gap between these all the time. A new breed of technologist who can talk to the CMO and CIO at the same time and make an impact. A new breed of technologist who is great at communicating and influence, who can influence the business decisions in this fast evolving space. But Houston, we have a problem. Where do you find these unicorns? They don't seem to exist on planet Earth, and NASA unfortunately has not perfected the technology to reach Mars yet. So what do? Sapient Nitro pioneers that we are. 3 of the leaders from Sapient Nitro, Sheldon Montero, our CTO, Adam Gross, VP and business lead from Team Impact in the South, and Julie Hipaka from our learning team, they come together about 3.5 years back. 3.5 years back, which is light years in this fast-moving space. And they come up with the Chief Marketing Technology Officer University program, a unique program, a one-of-a-kind program that creates these new breed of technologists. I got a chance to be a part of this journey. About 3 years back, I enrolled in the class, and this is my class. 12 of us went on this journey, and looking back, I can safely say this has by far been the best career investment I have ever done. Why do I say that? What did I learn? How have I been able to apply some of these learnings over the last couple of years? Well, let's talk about it. The program is broken into 4 pillars: marketing fundamentals, communication and influence, marketing technology, attitude and behavior. Marketing fundamentals. I used to think that I understand marketing well. I learned the 4 P's somewhere in school. I built a lot of marketing systems along the way. In that process, I must have learned a lot. Oh boy, how wrong was I? There's so much more to learn. And there's so much more to learn because to be good in this space, you should be able to walk the walk and talk the talk with marketers. You should be able to be in the same room as CMOs. It gave me the confidence to be in the same room with CMOs and not just listen and understand and nod to their conversation, but add something more to the conversation, push the envelope, keep the conversation going, influence their decisions, be able to help them to navigate the space. When a Pokemon Go hits, when something else hits, hey, how do you look at this space? What do you do about it tomorrow? You need people who understand marketing landscape also, not just technology. And then talk about communication and influence. There's a company by the name Duarte, which is world-renowned for how they do storytelling and presentation. We use that company throughout this program. On day 1 of the program, I was introduced to Duarte. I did not know them. Until the last day, we were working on Duarte. And even now, today, 3 years after I started the journey, I keep using those principles every day. Principles of storytelling. So critical. Influence, I spoke about influence. We practice this throughout the year. Marketing technology, I spoke about the complex landscape. I used to think, hey, I come from a strong technology background. I consider myself to be a technologist. What's so difficult? Okay, this program opens the eyes. We open up that landscape, that 4,000 company landscape. We open it up. We go broad. We go deep. Today, in front of you, you are going to have a lot of folks, a lot of students from the current class talk about various aspects of this program, of this technology landscape. And then last but not the least, let's talk about attitude and behavior. Leadership, risk-taking, fearlessness, self-confidence, self-awareness, empathy, emotional intelligence. reflection, learning to learn. These are attributes which probably have never been more important than in today's space. You need to be able to act with edge in a fast-moving environment. How do you have that confidence? How do you have that empathy to take your fellow colleagues along with you in this journey? How do you have the ability to keep on learning and learning and learning? How do you go about navigating the space of learning? To me, this program meant a cultural shift, a mindset shift in my thinking. We all, in order for us to win in this space, each and every one of us needs to inculcate an experimentation culture where we are trying out new things every single day. We are learning. We are failing, yes, failing. Fail every day, fail fast, fail early, fail often. But then learn from your failures. Because success, when it comes, which eventually it will result in transformative experiences. So how do we cram so much? How do we learn so much in a year? This is the design that the program follows. I'll go through this very quickly in the interest of time. We have 4 intensives that we do, each about a quarter apart. And these intensives basically bring the entire class together. We fly in everybody from all over the world and we come together. And in these intensives, we use a company called Hyper Island, which is very, very well known in the industry for teaching business leaders how to navigate the digital landscape. And they are also very well known for their immersive learning programs. And in between these intensives, we have interims, which is when there's a lot of assignments, homeworks, group work, project work. And this happens in every weekend, pretty much every weekend on Sundays, we virtually get together where we collaborate and we share ideas. The class of 2016 is currently in their intensive 4, that's what's happening now. And these 20 individuals, 19 from Sapient Nitro, this is the first time we introduced our program to P.S, to Razorfish, and we have one individual from Razorfish also is a part of the program. These 20 individuals have done some fantastic work over the last year, they have learned a lot, and today they are going to share their experiences and perspectives on emerging trends and on how brands can build and maintain connections with their customers by breaking boundaries at the intersection of technology and story. So how will we run today? I'm just going to get logistics out of the way very quickly, but please pay attention to this. We have, immediately after me, we are going to have 2 more sessions right here in the main area. Immediately after me, Alison from our Toronto office will have a conversation with us on content automation, and then that will be followed by a business transformation roundtable, a very exciting panel. Bob Van Weber, Rajdeep, and KV Sridhar, none of whom need any introductions, will basically be in a roundtable which will be chaired by Scott Petrie, who is a VP from Atlanta and is actually a CMTO graduate himself. And then we break for lunch, and in the afternoon, we go into breakouts. We have 3 breakouts happening today. This area, this room, will be split into 2. This will become ballroom 1 and ballroom 2. And then the 3rd breakout is on level 2, upstairs. Level 2, Casa. And these breakouts, you have an opportunity. You can decide which breakout do you want to be a part of. But once you decide which breakout you are, please stick to that vertical, just to keep the logistics simple. And then finally, once we are done with all these breakouts, we come back here in the main room, and this will be followed by 2 more conversations. One conversation by Tushar Agarwal, a director of technology from Bangalore, on responsive design, and then finally close from our CTO Sheldon Montero. Today, each and every one of you in this room is a part of a journey of learning, a journey that each and every one of us are going to take to ensure that we have the opportunity to do exciting things for our own career, for our clients, for our company. A journey that will enable Sapient Nitro and our clients to be at the constant forefront of competition. A journey that will enable each and every one of us to be a part of creating the next generation consumer experiences. Experiences that not just you and I, but our children and grandchildren will hopefully enjoy in the years to come. As we are about to get started, I invite you to listen, engage, and learn over the next 8 hours. And be a part of this marketing technology revolution. An opportunity space I decided to invest my career in 2 years back, right on this stage, on this very day. And I hope a couple of years from now, each and every one of you, as you reflect back on your own career, as you reflect back on this day, you look back at this day and its impact as a game changer in your career with pride and satisfaction, just as I do today. Remember, friends, there has never been a better time to be a technologist. Thank you.